Hello, Rachel and Evan. This is Mr. Turkleson. I am home sick today, but I wanted to give you something to do. I do find that when I'm out, much less gets done. So I wanted to, guide you a little bit for a few minutes and then give you something to do on your own. So over here, I've got a picture of Dido, who has not yet shown her face in the book yet. But she is showing Aeneas the city of Carthage from a vantage point up high. And you're going to see something like that in a couple of minutes here after I read to you from the left side of the page over here. So I wanted to give you that. This is, again, looking ahead, so we're not quite at this point yet. But this is Aeneas. Coming up is Aeneas's first view of Carthage, so I think it's a little helpful to have a picture on the side over there. So um, again, this is what we did the other day. This is I'm right up here now where the cursor is. This is Venus speaking to Aeneas and saying, "Whoever you are, I don't believe that you draw your breath hated by the gods and all that." And then there's the the allegory or the symbolism of the swans circling above, and this is Aeneas's men about to land in Carthage here. So that's this section here, and then she says at the end, "Only continue and direct your step on the way where the road leads you." And that's where we finished, I believed, and we were talking about Venus and why does she show herself as a why does she hide herself? Why do the gods hide themselves from human beings, and especially when it's a mother? So here's more on Venus. I'm gonna walk you through this paragraph and this paragraph here quickly, and then you should go back and read it over yourself and try to make sense of it in a more detailed way than I do. And then I'd like you to continue from, I believe this is line 418 until 429. So this right here is Aeneas's um, first view of Carthage here. This is Aeneas's complaint towards Venus. Why do you hide yourself from me? And then this is he continues on, and Venus goes off somewhere else, which I'll get to in a second. All right, so let's begin with Dixit. He's she spoke, and turning away, avertens, she cast back light, or she shined back, and then with her rosy neck, rosea cervicae, and she breathed out the divine odor from her verticae. I want to say, I'm forgetting from, I think another word for neck here, but I don't have the translation with me, so I'm doing this a little bit from memory and from whatever I know. So she breathed out the divine odor of her ambrosial hair. So we know ambrosia is like the food or the nectar of the gods. And so her hair is described as ambrosial here. And then verticae again, I think from her neck, um, or yeah, from her head, or from the tip of something. I'm not positive how that works. Um, and her her vestment, her clothes disappeared or flowed down to the lowest feet, right, to the bottom of her feet. Basically, it looks like she's shedding her clothes and revealing herself briefly, if only briefly revealing herself. And here you see that. And by her advance, or by her gait, by her walking, um, she was it was revealed, or it was known that she was a true goddess. It lay open that she was a true goddess, or the true goddess lay open by her walking. So it was clear by her, the way she walks, that she's a real goddess. And Ile is Aeneas. When he recognized his mother, Secutaces followed the one fleeing, meaning his mom, followed the one fleeing tali voce, with such a voice, or with such words. Quid natum totiens crudelis to quoque falsis ludis imaginibus. Why so many times, cruel one, do you, ludis, do you mock, or do you play with false images, with false appearances? So many times, why do you mock your son? Natum means, uh, well, it has something to do with birth or being born, but here it's also directly her son, the one that is born to her. And then he says, why is it not given? And this is in a sense similar to non licet. Why is it not allowed? Why is it not given to us, let's say, to join right hand to right hand, to join your right hand to my right hand, perhaps, and to speak true things, or to speak and speak back in true voices or true words? Instead of all these lies, why don't we speak to each other honestly? He seems to be asking. And then he says, he accused her with such words, talibus, with such words, um, with such things. I guess you could say here, like an adjective, like a noun. He accused her with such things, and then he stretches, or tends, or continues his step towards the walls, meaning the walls of Carthage here. And Venus, Sipes, it is like seals or covers or locks. Um, the gradientes, that means the ones going or stepping, meaning Aeneas, and I believe he is with his one of his men now, and not Anchises, but oh god, I'm forgetting the guy's name now, but he's Venus covers the walkers, or those going ahead, obscuro aere, which is like with a dark air, with a mist, and flows or pours much of a cloud around, as a mantle, as a garb, you could say. So what is she doing? She's basically covering Aeneas and Achates, I think is who he's with. Achates. So he's covering him with a mist. And why? Nay, so that not, that's a negative purpose clause there. No one So that no one, ne quis, ne aliquis, so that no one could touch, or so that no one could see, Karen, you remember discern or see them, so that no one could see them, nor could anyone touch them. Contingere, from tangere, to touch, I think here just another form of that, so that no one would be able to see or to touch them, or to molire, to hinder them on their way, or to poscere, demand the causes of their coming. So that's a gerund there, or demand the causes of their arrival, or of their coming. So she wants them to be concealed in a fog, so that nobody will mess with them. Why? Because Dido is a new queen, and she's protecting her kingdom. It's possible that some harm could come to strangers, as you find out later. Um, she herself, Ipsa refers back to Venus. She herself um, departs, or goes to Pathos. Sublimis, I think, is like in the heavens or on the heavens. Not that Paphos is. Paphos is a place in Cyprus. It's a city in Cyprus, and I'll get to that in a second. But I think she travels like on high. Maybe I'm not positive about this one, and she revisits happily Suas Ceres, her seat there. I think her temple there, or it's a place dedicated to Venus worship, and where there is a temple to her, and where 100 my mouse is dying, and where there are 100 altars burn or are warmed by, I think, Sabayan Toure, which is African frankincense, and they Halant Certis Recentabis. I'm forgetting Halant now, but something like they are fragrant, maybe with many and certis. I'm thinking it's like flowers, like locks of flowers. So this is just a description of this temple on Paphos. So one quick cool note about Paphos is, again, why does Virgil do what he does? Why does she suddenly go off to Paphos? Now, I don't claim to have the answer here, but I will tell you that Paphos is a place in Cyprus, the island sort of in the southern Mediterranean or the far eastern Mediterranean, where, amongst other things, Pygmalion, the sculptor, crafted his beautiful girl statue out of stone, and she came to life, and they actually had a child, and that child's name was Paphos. Paphus, I believe, and this town or city is named Paphos after that child. So, kind of like the child of one of Ovid's metamorphoses, this coming together of a human being and a stone statue, producing this love child named Paphos, and so that's a connection there. What does it mean that she does go off to this particular place? I don't claim to know, but I throw that out there so that you can think about it. Anyway, I'm gone on long enough, and I need to lie down. But if you could please continue from here, 418 down to 429, that will take us right up to this beautiful metaphor that Virgil um, uh, uses to describe how the city of Carthage is similar to a beehive, a group of very busy bees putting together their hive. And Aeneas, of course, is going to marvel at a city that is rising. He's just left his own city, and he sees this beautiful city coming up, and there's more about that afterwards. But if you could try for 418 to 429, I do apologize for the long video here. I hadn't intended to talk so much, but I hope that some of this is of interest to you.